Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another episode after a long while of Total War Arena replay commentary. Or battle commentary, I think it's battle commentary, not a replay commentary. We have replay analysis, there we go. Anyway, back on track. So, in this episode, I'm going to show you what happens if your team really doesn't want to win and you just got to carry yourself, well, as a party. So we've got a disconnect in here, which already looks promising. We've got an AFK archer. It's already set us for a nice 8.5 versus 10. I've got one elephant going to sea. Okay, there are rushings here on the side. Our party is already getting heavily involved with some Hannibal spears. What else is here? Leonidas Spearman in the tall grass, facing off against Solkung's Birka Folksman. 2 units of them. Solkung is getting off nice flank, surprising right flank. Some reinforcements from our spears coming as well. Leonidas but tier 6. And we are pushing here. Mishra obviously is in a blob because he's a noob. And then there we go, the favorite tactic of every single spear player. Blob up and pull through, and you're invincible, essentially. Now the other race is going to do so much damage. Yeah, look at them suffering. Ooh, getting wrecked. So anyway, I just shoot these glaives because I can't really shoot these because of the friendly fire, but they're just mercilessly pulling through. So I also need to back away. Cheddar is changing his attack order to attack these incoming glaives, doesn't want to get flanked, but he's just going to get obliterated here. He needs like this second unit here to keep landing reshots on them, or rather re-attacks, otherwise it's gonna look bad. But now that his unit is completely just surrounded and slowly getting obliterated, I feel no remorse, no regrets about doing some friendly fire. As you can see, the damage is very small in comparison. And here I could split up, but Solkung is incoming from this side, so I just pull all my archer units towards him, suffering a little bit of damage. Charge catches half of my unit. In its case, Solkung is here, so I won't suffer that much. But again, I'm in no position that allows me now to deal friendly fire. So is this guy, but he doesn't care and deals a shit ton of friendly fire. Especially since he is less accurate crossbows without focus fire. Repeating crossbows, to be precise. But yeah, Solkung and Cheddar are now going to finish them up, but we already suffered quite a lot of casualties here, so we are losing on our push power. And Pyro, who has gotten his 2 units killed here by Solkung, I assume, used his 3rd one that he left behind to respawn the other 2. And now he's just standing in fight in the shade, and while facing Cheddar, doesn't even let him start contesting. Our team has already lost C because they haven't sent anything there. Cavalry is getting some repeating crossbows in here, just general clown fiesta ensues. The archer is still AFK. The elephants doing fuck all. AI is doing its things, it's going to camp in base. So yeah, it's generally looking great. Yeah, infantry running away from defending a point, because why would you? Elephants doing the same. Yep. As I said, our team really doesn't want to win. So well, let's go back here to the action. Glaives have respawned or healed up, so I'm shooting them as much as possible. Getting that XP, Solkung charges in, but he's barely alive himself. Almost got one of the units routed, but God of War keeps him alive. Wasn't that triple God of War, by the way? I don't know, he's using all his other abilities triple. Might have as well just used that. And anyway, I can't really deal much more damage in here. And this guy, I believe, is still in Find the Shade. So his melee stats are a little bit lower, but not that much lower. Oh no, they aren't actually. Yeah, so he just isn't in Phalanx, so it is lower. Like, he doesn't fight as effectively as if he was in Phalanx, but he doesn't really suffer any penalties either. And this guy keeps insisting on shooting Find the Shade guy who has over 100 missile block chance. So yeah, that's a very interesting tactic. Earlier he even friendly fire each other. I didn't show that while I was showing what was happening on the other side of the map, but the general gist of it is that yeah, our team got completely obliterated. Hey. So yeah, here I'm using my range advantage, or rather view range advantage. I'm doing also a very risky move in here because something can respawn in here at any second, at any time. There are 4 players dead on the enemy team. Well, 3, at least 3 that we don't know of. This is probably not dead, just not spotted. Luckily one of the spears come from here, but they could have just respawned over here and then I would be in a bad position. And yeah, we're really running out of steam. But we do have our own spear blob, because obviously we do. And yeah, I decided to position myself on the cliff. Like, the second something respawns in here, I'm really fucked. But if it doesn't, then I'm landing some really good reshots, and I needed that for flat arcs, because the second I get off the cliff, those shots would be in high arcs. I can't really do anything about this guy trying to replenish, because he has Find the Shade, so I cannot shoot him, cannot penetrate that. So I wouldn't even be able to deny the healing, nor keep him away. But he's no longer on the point, there's only 1 unit left on the point, but it still will need us. Like, he's going to take a while to take down, especially if there's a triple phalanx trying to pull through him. And yeah, in the meantime, the entire other side of the map has just been abandoned. Our team is actually funneling a lot of resources, if not all the resources, to the left flank. Solkung is now going towards Z. A is being attacked. Can we get B? Leonidas is still holding, sending another unit. Trying to deny the healing here. I'm using hand to lower the missile block chance so that I can actually shoot and deny. But 3 Testudos are approaching me. I need to respect that, I need to run away. But as these guys almost dead, I'm getting in the point, getting towards these archers to kill them. Hold the line, still keeps him alive. But the second it expires, the unit will run away. Now we need all the units we can to be inside this capture zone to cap it as quickly as possible. But there is a huge enemy melee infantry force coming from all directions. Can we cap it? Can we cap it? Contested? Not contested. Very close, very close. We are capping quite fast, and there we go. We managed to cap it, but we need to run away as we have no melee units to hold it. Elephants are incoming, so they could hold the point. This triple guy with triple phalanx is fighting another triple phalanx, quadruple even, and he's about to get flanked. Our repeating crossbow player didn't manage to run away. Getting inside the tall grass, guy enters the Testudo, good reaction time, but well, I have other targets as well. And thanks to the XP advantage that I managed to acquire here on this flank, I'm already landing some really nasty shots. Because if not for that XP advantage, I don't really think there would be any hope for us. Right, so we would need to heal up here. The point is still locked for 45 seconds, but the enemy is also doing the right thing and is just pushing through, denying the heal zone. The heal zone also isn't conveniently hidden in tall grass, so we cannot really use that to our advantage. I don't know if it is... But this is the current patch, so healing takes 15 seconds, not 10. And E is already under attack, so the second they get B, and they will, as soon as it unlocks, he's also going to be under pressure. So I had one of the archer units here, get a volley off, and try to reposition. Yeah, he's using focus fire, that's why you should always move after you fire. So if somebody wants to snipe you with focus fire, they miss. But here I have been spotted by Germanicus, probably will get hunted. Nope, but it's still enough to just nuke me. I need to get out of the tall grass. I will lose this unit. 14 men, just one more volley, it will drop below 10 and I'll rout. Yep, there we go. There's nothing I can do here to save myself. And well, I need to go all the way back here to heal up, and that will take a while and take all the wind out of our sails. somewhat captured C in the meantime. SUNTZU, after being at E, went all the way over to D to recapture it. Since nobody else from our team wanted to go there, I guess he had to. And he was lucky enough that it was almost unprotected. But well, it's not going to last long, I imagine. So yeah, I'm going all the way back to heal. Cheddar is transitioning, he's going to the right flank. Maybe we are going to try to look for something on that flank, since SUNTZU is already pushing all the way around through the forest to A. There's some cavalry coming, and it doesn't look like there's anything from the enemy side coming. Even the AI is somehow right-clicking on the point. That's interesting, but Leonidas Spearmen are holding the A point. This guy really likes to defend. Doesn't have any XP though. SUNTZU has one. But it's a Leonidas that is just facing against the wall, so it's going to be very difficult to flank, rout and kill. Foxman very vulnerable. We found some unprotected repeating crossbows over here, our cavalry did. Denies the healing over at C, which is nice. I am healed up and I'm pushing the B side, because if I were to go over here it would just take such a long time. Cheddar has decided to make his way back to the left flank, probably I asked him for it, trying to get here. And we now have an opportunity, right, because now the enemy team has felt confident and is pushing quite heavily as I land some really nice reshots on my ally. And if we kill that, right, then we have some time to push towards B again, as they are giving us a fight over in the center or even closer to our point than they are to theirs. So rather than not kill it, but just leave it with sliver of HP, right? Which is kind of what I'm doing. This guy's running away, probably will try to heal. Yeah, he's going to the healing zone, which is very nicely because he's right next to it. The archers that were AFK for all this time have finally taken over by AI, and now only ranged units are chasing these melee units. I put hand on 2 on all 3, which is maybe a mistake. I mean, I do assume that I will be able to kill all of them quickly enough, but ranged units are really bad at finishing off units that are trying to run away, because they're somewhat too accurate sometimes, and it causes them to miss with the slightest bit of movement. See? Or just a change of direction, going around a corner, or sometimes even if the guy goes in a straight line, your archers just compute badly and just miss all of their arrows. Right, and here is a great example. Okay, maybe not. But these arrows took longer than 6 seconds to reach the destination. So even if I right-click on him and tell my archers to shoot, as soon as the guy issues the fall back order, he will still fall back. 6 seconds is way too short for a fallback, and I think it should be at the very least 10, if not 15. Or maybe even more. I also got some other ideas how we could change that system, but it is what it is at the moment, and it doesn't necessarily require some rework. Just change the timer so it isn't as short as 6. Okay, so here we need to wait for our melee units. Cheddar has 1 unit over here, 2 units all the way back there. It will take some time for them to get here. The glaives are running away, denying this unit from healing. Just 1 soldier left, and we're kind of just ignoring it. Have a bigger fish, I guess, to kill. And it also is sort of a nice XP farm in this regard, because this is what we kind of need, as we are waiting for melee reinforcements anyway. Like, we cannot obviously fight for B, it's just not going to happen. This guy is just standing in, find a shade and can just time the shots forever, and our archer is just targeting him. I mean, that's probably AI, so there's that. Oh, triple phalanx. Not even phalanx, just... oh, there we go. Now, against some Germanicus infantry in vengeance. Here I managed to finish off the enemy Germanicus. And now I get to shoot onto point B. Trying to get some good angles. Can't really from here. But well, it helps if the enemy doesn't dodge and he's AFK. That is really nice. I like when enemies do that. And the spear just ran away, which leaves us with only one unit that is somewhat healthy, protecting the point. Cavalry is going to take care of the glaives. And the Emperor here either disabled, I mean now he disabled Final Shade, or just shot his back for a second while in Final Shade. And I took that opportunity, shot him, and because of my huge XP advantage, I'm just land some really nice shots, drive off the enemy Azrul player, and now we have all at B. But the map still looks really, really bad for our team. Let's see where SUNTZU is. I wonder. Okay, he's here. He made his way up to where we are, me and Cheddar. The enemy is now taking D. We've taken it. We still have some AFK, a little bit of archers, a little bit of infantry. Yes, very, very useful in case the enemy wants to cap our base. That is going to be very useful. I'm going to heal up here. And well, since there's no way we can win this battle on points, the only way we can win this battle is by capturing the enemy base. So that is the call we are making. I need to be very decisive and, you know, very persistent about it. Because the moment you get distracted by something else, you lose that race. The enemy is already realizing what's going on, and they are recalling back to the base, trying to prevent us from winning the battle. Because as long as they just stop us, they win, right? Here I'm barraging, getting some initial damage on these guys that are going to block our infantry, and maybe make them dodge so that our infantry can slip past. But SUNTZU is doing the right thing here. He's just sort of ignoring him and just walking past him. Right, I'm also moving between each of my volleys. Getting rid of the repeating crossbows, which are going to be pain for my allies. I need to pay attention to that as well. I'm shooting a focus fire over here to help my allies again. The sooner we kill this guy, the sooner we can get inside the base, and he won't be able to contest, pushing out the repeating crossbows out of the healing zone, and then getting as quickly as possible to the capture zone as well. But denying the healing is my job, so I just shoot at this blob, prevent them from getting a heal, because they're recalling back to the base, but they're not full HP, right? So if I can do that, help my allies that way, that is what I need to do. These two units wanted to maybe contest the point. No, they have to be prevented. And now spearmen are trying to get their way in. Cheddar is blocking them off so they cannot contest. At the moment it is 7-0, but the enemies are making this way the other way around. And this is Leonidas, he can just pull through, so all of these three units are already inside the base. But he's now getting quite surrounded by SUNTZU while being held frontally by Cheddar. He is SUNTZU, so he can hold them off pretty nicely, but he decides to retreat and block Pyro off so that I can stay inside the base. Because this is what is most important, keeping the units inside the base. But this guy is also relentlessly just in phalanx, just pushing through. No, he's not in pike phalanx, he's in Find the Shade, actually. So I can't really shoot him, but I do anyway because I'm stupid apparently. But my allies are doing a pretty good job at holding him off. Now he's routed, so he's no longer contesting, he's gonna be cut down. And this Leonidas player is still being held here. I'm denying all the healing. This guy is also doing a decent job. Sadly he didn't get his units here inside the base, but he's also holding one of them away. So let's say it sort of equalizes, and it's 9-2. The enemies are only 300 points away. Another 3 units are making their way inside the base. We don't have anything to stop them really. All we can do is just deal as much damage as possible. So now what we should do is focus on the smallest units, even at the cost of friendly fire. So these two units are close to being dead, so they should be the focus. But for some reason I'm just shooting here on the healing zone because I don't have to deal with friendly fire. But 10 versus 5, looks like we're winning anyway. And yeah, there we go. A victory, despite our team really not wanting to win. I mean, 2 AFKs, not much they can do, right? But they sort of did the job. When we pushed to the base, they held B, because if the enemy took B, the capture is just blocked off, right? You need a capture point connecting to the base so they can start capturing the base. So they did their job. It wasn't that bad in terms of allies. But yeah, the main message behind this video is that even if the battle is going really, really badly, never give up until the very end, because the option of capturing the enemy base is pretty much always there. Unless you're in a really, really, really bad spot that you're losing literally everywhere. But as long as, you know, your flank is doing okay, you can always, you know, push that button, pull the trigger, let's go to the enemy base, that's the only way we can win, let's try that. I mean, if it fails, you lose anyway. But if it succeeds, you turn a lost battle into a victory. So hopefully that will motivate you to never give up, never surrender, just like Sparta, although we did beat a lot of Leonidas players in this battle. Alright. They lost at Thermopylae, technically, as well. So with that message, I will leave you until the next episode, and I'll see you on Arenas Battlefields, Commanders.